Can you confirm with News Nation that you're running for president?
Boy, that would be a nice confirmation, wouldn't it? There'd be a lot of people that would be very upset about that. But I think you're going to be very happy. I think people are going to be very happy at what I do. I was going to do something last night, actually, that would have made the place really happy. And so we're doing it a few days later. And I think people are going to be very happy, very impressed.
To your predecessor, who is about to launch another campaign. So how do you reassure them, if that is the reason for their questioning, that the former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
There's breaking news out of Palm Beach, Florida. Former President Trump says his Mar-a-Lago home there is being raided by the FBI.
For the first time ever, a former president of the United States has been indicted.
Former President Donald Trump indicted for a second time.
A federal grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump. It marks the third time the former president has been indicted.
Breaking news on former President Trump. He's been indicted for the fourth time in 5 months.
Breaking news, this is an image that will be in the history books. This is the mugshot of the 45th President of the United States.
The optics of this is working to his advantage. Look.
Breaking news from Colorado, where the state Supreme Court has just disqualified former President Donald Trump.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 felony counts.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Take a look at what happened.
The next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I proudly accept your nomination for president of the United States.
Let Trumpomania run wild, brother!
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Investigation underway after the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
As I was saying,
as you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
Get in there.
Let's go! I want to be a whale psychiatrist. I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's. I really wanted to do this all my life. I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Here are our first projections. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky, Indiana. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota. NBC News also projects a winner in the Wyoming presidential race, Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, Kansas, Utah, Montana, Iowa, the state of Nebraska in the presidential contest, Idaho. The first swing state is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. Pennsylvania. NBC now projects he is the winner of Michigan and its 15 electoral votes.
Donald Trump is the winner in Alaska, picking up 3 more electoral votes.
Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. He is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Thursday. I was going to stream a little bit earlier today, but I decided I'm going to go later tonight because I wanted to make you guys keep guessing. Is he going to go live? Isn't he going to go live? When am I going to go live? You never know. You never know. But hope everybody's doing well. We got a lot to talk about today, a lot to catch up on. The news has been kind of crazy. And I did see Spider-Man Brand New Day today, and I'll talk about that here in a bit. It's going to have an huge opening weekend. Holy crap. And yeah, I did enjoy it though, but we'll get into my thoughts on that here in a bit. We have this insane migrant crisis that's going on in Spain that I think should be a very, very serious reminder that could have been the United States of America if Kamala Harris would have won. And that's not hyperbole. That is truly how close we came, so close to having that be our country. People don't understand that. But yeah, man, it's absolutely. But hey, guess what? I saw him in the chat. Marty O'Donnell. Hail Marty O'Donnell. Do you guys know who Marty is, right? Do you guys know who Marty is? If you don't know, you should know. And if you don't think you know, you absolutely do know. Who is Marty? The guy that had a little thing called the Halo theme. Maybe you've heard of him. Yeah, that guy. I hope I don't get hit for this. I don't want to turn it off. I won't get hit for it, Marty. Hell yeah. Oh. So I had, me and Marty were on the phone for about an hour. It's the first time we've ever spoken. Marty is awesome, by the way. I know you guys know Marty, but Marty is awesome. And he might be at the Vegas meetup. He might be there. And if he's there, he's going to be willing to sign your copies of Halo if you bring him. So, Friday Night Tights meetup in Vegas. Marty is looking very I'm almost certain he will be there. So, Marty's going to be there. And if you have, your copies of Halo, bring those, and maybe you can have a signed copy from Marty or Destiny or the soundtracks, he says. See there? Marty the man, who's also going to be a very important figure here come November. I'm thinking you're going to see a lot more of him around these parts on the Geeks and Gamers D-Day Cobra side. So, but yeah, hail to Marty. It was awesome, man. He's a great dude. It's like we get on the phone and it's like 10 minutes later, it's like we're best friends. So there we go. Oracle of Doom for 2222 says pre-Vegas grift tax. 5 days left. Can't wait. Hail the 199. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Oracle of Doom. Since Mar Millen ain't around tonight, I think Nandy's mad at me. John freaking Murdoch's mad at me. Everybody's mad at me these days. I don't know what's going on. John was mad at me the other day because I didn't call out his misspelling in a super chat. I think. I'm not even sure. I don't even know what John's mad at me about. Nandy doesn't show up these days anymore. Narco's mad at me. I can't keep up with who's mad at me and who isn't. But it is. Jeremy should just start saying one tweet to Jay. Bill Herb says pre-stream tax for $2. Thank you. Packy Protons. Wait a minute. You sent me $111 super chat the other day. To be fair, you also sent a $500 super chat. I don't think I followed through on that one. Marty says, thanks, Jeremy, for the shout out. I've actually got to go be on an old-fashioned radio talk show later. Take it easy, Marty. Appreciate you, brother. Hail to you. Look forward to seeing you in Vegas, man. It's going to be awesome. And thanks again, man. Good stuff. Well, whatever for 5 on Rumble says, mad at Jeremy tax. Mad at Jeremy. Everybody's mad at Jeremy for something. That's how it goes around here. Little Jim Sailor says, Trump photobombs Spain. Now they arrested. Invaded. Okay. I understand what you're trying to say here, but how am I? I'm already retarded. So like you sending a super chat like that, like what? I already have a tough time sounding smart. When you send super chats like that, it doesn't help. Just so you know. Joe Bit says, greetings from Orlando, going back to Tennessee tomorrow. Bro, I didn't know that you were here. I'm sorry. I'm hope you had a fun time, man. Pre-Dawn Corp for 500 kicks on Kick says, fuck you, Jeremy. I'm mad at you too. Ignoring my kicks. I just read it out, Pre-Dawn Corpse. You can't get mad at me now. Okay? You can't. You're not allowed. Jared the America says, so I damaged part of my Mazda off-roading in the Pine Barrens today. Got it fixed, but I'm a moron and I belong here with the other morons like Jeremy. Welcome home, my friend. Welcome home. Yapping Tom says, let me tell you something, Spidey. 6 out of 10 for me, mixed. Let's go ahead and talk about that really quick. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I put my review over on Criticless. I gave it a 7 out of 10, a 70%. I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of good with it. I'm not going to add spoilers, by the way. No spoilers at all. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the movie. Spider-Man Brand New Day is best when the guy called Spider-Man is the focus. Tom Holland is great as Spider-Man Peter Parker. Obviously, as the audience, we are fully invested in his story and how he's dealing with the fallout from No Way Home. When it focuses on that, it's so good, and I wanted more of that. Adding John Bernthal's Punisher to complement Spider-Man works very well because John Bernthal is always awesome. They really have good chemistry on screen. It was actually great, and I wanted more of that. Without adding spoilers, there's another layer to this that really drags it down in the last third of the movie. I don't care about it, and it basically feels like a bad episode of Stranger Things. You'll know when you see it. I've always liked Tom Holland in this role, but I've often not liked the solo movies he was in, except for No Way Home, which isn't really a solo film. I recommend it for sure, but it's dragged down by similar issues as all of the solo Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are. With that said, this is the best Tom Holland solo Spider-Man movie that doesn't have Tobey Maguire in it. And that's my review of Brand New Day. If you look at the overall Criticless review, it's got a 78%, so a little bit higher than what my score is, but it's averaging a 78%, which is a good score. And it's enjoyable. And so if you're on the fence, I would recommend it. If you don't want to see it, I would never tell you to go see something you don't want to go see. But it was good. I enjoyed it for the most part. And on top of that, this movie is probably going to hit $1 billion by Monday or Tuesday. It's absolutely astronomical. The box office numbers are insane. This will be the second biggest opening of all time. And that's the power of Spider-Man. He's the most famous and popular superhero in the world, right up there with Batman, but I think Spider-Man is more popular. And I would recommend this if you're a Spider-Man fan, or if you're, wanting to know the follow-up from No Way Home. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. It's dragged down by the third act, in my opinion, and I stand by that. It just feels like a bad episode of Stranger Things in the third act. It drug it down pretty bad for me. If you take that out, I'd give this movie like an 8.5 or a 9. But because of that, and because it brings the focus away from Spider-Man, that really did bother me a lot. But it's typical MCU bullshit. They always have to sit there and bring in some other thing that's going to tie into another movie, and they can't just let the movie breathe on its own. I heard some people saying that they thought this was better than Spider-Man 2. Let me tell you right now, crack is bad. You shouldn't smoke crack before you give a movie review. On no planet is this movie in the same stratosphere as Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. It's not even close. That's no disrespect to Tom Holland Spider-Man, because I like Tom Holland Spider-Man. But Tobey is the GOAT. Tobey is the GOAT. 100%. But anyway, there's my thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's going to make a ton of money. It's going to set box office records, or at least it'll be the second biggest global opening ever. And Spider-Man is Spider-Man. There's a reason that, these numbers are like this. Spider-Man is, I think he's the most popular superhero in the world. And when a movie focuses 100% on him, that's when it soars. And this one does mostly that. But either way, there's Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay. And go over to Critic List. Make yourself an account if you have not. JDT199 says, just got back from Vegas. It's hot as hell there. I'm now broke from $400 steak dinners for two, slot machines, $20 breakfast sandwiches. Stayed at the Cosmo, was pretty nice. Okay, well, I don't really know how this is my problem. I'm more concerned with you just sending me super chats. So, like, I'm not really worried about you blowing all your money on dinners and hotels. What's that got to do with me? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with me? So I don't know why you're bringing all this noise into here. Why should I care? Just send me super chats. That's really it. And if you can't, then just send me the $10 and move on. You don't have to bring all your real world problems into it. Hope you had a good time, man. I'm not looking forward to the heat in Vegas. I'm really not. It is like, that's the only bad part of Vegas, but it is what it is, man. But thank you, JDT. I hope you had a good time, brother. All sarcasm aside. Epic Reader says, have a great time in Vegas. Hail the 199. Thank you. 8 o'clock says, can't believe Halo Studios said that Halo was never for the chuds when Marty's music just makes you want to take over an alien world. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that's why people are mad at Jeremy. Turkey just says, Jared, the Odyssey is fantastic. 9.5 out of 10. It would have been so cool if Odysseus said daddy's home just before revealing himself to the suitors. Beggar, please. Dude, don't get me started on the I responded to a tweet. It didn't let me go right here. All right. So I respond. So right here, I don't know if you guys saw this, but this poster right here, I'm sure you guys have heard about this one. And I was just responding with the meme from the Odyssey. So I don't know what the big deal is, but I just responded with this. That's all I said. And like I said, I was concerned about people being offended. So I edited out the B word in beggars because I didn't know if beggars was offensive. And people are mad because I edited out the B word because I didn't know if it would be offensive. And now people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, I'm just trying to respect people. What's the big deal? Everybody's offended over everything. Even when you try to go out of your way to not offend someone, you still offend them. It's crazy. I don't get it, man. Thank you, Turkey Jizz. Matt Eric says, on the phone with Marty for an hour. Jeremy does not even return my text. Not that I really want to talk to him anyway. Hey, Eric, go create one of the most iconic scores in gaming history, and then maybe I'll respond to your fucking text, okay? Until then, shut the fuck up and mod the chat, okay? Nobody gives a shit, all right? Thank you. NDI says, hurry up, Gutfeld is on soon. I'm mad. I'm on my, I don't even know what the fuck this is. What is this? What is this word? I'm on my main account now. What's your alt? Sarcasm's through the roof tonight. I'm going to have to chill. I told Marty, I'm like, Marty, if you watch my show, I apologize in advance of all of the sarcasm and cussing and inside jokes. I apologize. So anyway, let's get into some of the news, and I want to get right into this migrant situation that's happening. This is absolutely out of control. I'm sure a lot of you have seen some of the video that's going around right now, but this is definitely a reminder that if the Democrats get control, Whatever problems you may have with the Trump administration, whatever issues you may have with some of the decisions, I'm not telling you that you're wrong to have concerns. I'm not. But whatever problems you have, they are nothing compared to what this country will look like with the Democrats in power. That's the bottom line. And that's the bigger picture. End of discussion. This is crazy right here.
Some really wild video here. Chaos at the border of Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police. Their video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore another way, some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden.
Bro, this is a straight up horror movie right here, man. Absolutely horror.
This is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2024, kind of similar to what we saw in Del Rio back in 2021. The socialist agenda, their platform literally says they want to abolish borders, abolish immigration enforcement, have complete freedom of movement. This is what it looks like in another country if they get what they want. Notice there is no resistance from the government whatsoever.
Zero.
These people are coming in without any obstruction. And if people don't know, Spain has a very left-wing government. Earlier this year, they did a big amnesty program for over 1 million illegal immigrants living in the country. They had 1.3 million illegal immigrants apply for that amnesty program.
You know what's scary? What's scary is that I almost can't recognize if this is a left-wing blue city in America or if this is Spain. I couldn't even tell. I wouldn't even be able to tell if this was a left-wing city.
Between April and June. So that's what we call a pull
in America
factor,
is what I
Sandra.
mean. Left-wing city in
They're looking
America.
for something like that. They know if they can just get their foot in the country, maybe someday that left-wing government will do another amnesty program. And you were just reading some of the wires. The locals want an emergency declaration. It sounds like
the ministry is saying no, and they will not deploy military to the border.
Apparently, they don't think this is an I mean, look at this. This is a total free-for-all.
It does feel like we are looking at a few years ago when you're reporting at the border here in the United States. This is happening right now. This story is breaking right now, and you're not just talking about hundreds, thousands of migrants are pouring over the borders as we speak.
Yeah, and again, I mean, just look here. Do you see any women or children? I mean, most people would call these folks so-called asylum seekers. These are all young guys just flooding into the country and overwhelming what, if any, border there is. It looks like there's just kind of a small barbed wire fence or something like that. But you can see the Spanish government is caught completely off guard here, and you have thousands of these men. I mean, it literally looks like you often hear the word invasion, but it literally looks like one here. Look at that. I mean, you see the border fence there. They're all just going around it. And again,
the head of Spain's civil guard is calling this absolute chaos. In a brand new interview, he said, quote, "It's not possible to give precise numbers, but there are thousands of migrants crossing right now." He added that the border has totally collapsed.
It's awful, man.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. And for folks who don't know where this is a small Spanish city, autonomous in North Africa. It's actually in Morocco, but it does have Spanish autonomy. It's called Ceuta. So this isn't on the mainland of Spain, but these images, we've been looking at them on social media all morning. It's just stark to see that there is no resistance whatsoever. I mean, at least in Del
Rio. Zero resistance, just like Biden's border. And this is what Kamala Harris's border would have looked like too. But instead, we have a very strong border. We have a very, very strong border. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you that Trump 2.0 has been perfect, because it hasn't. I'm not here to tell you that there aren't things to be concerned with, because there are. But damn if it hasn't been so much better than the alternative. And he has done so many good things for this country. And what have we often said? What have we often said about how left... I'm going to apply a lot of the arguments that we have attached to the left. I'm going to apply that to the anti-Trump right now. Okay? Now, for years, when the left would complain and say that they don't have, like, with all these women in America, like, we don't have any rights. And you're like, what are you talking about? Or when, people talk about racism and, black people can't get jobs in America and the system is racist. And you're like, what are you talking about? The fact that these people, these victim Democrats, can constantly complain and constantly invent reasons to be offended and invent victim narratives. The idea that they can do that is a direct reflection of how great the American system is. Because their life is so good that the worst problem in their life is that they have to invent the problem. And it's proof. Like, there are people in third world countries that literally can't eat, don't have power, don't have food. We got these people walking around with fucking iPhones and iPads telling you that they are victims of racism and they can't do anything. How the fuck did you get an iPhone if you can't do anything? You literally are walking around with privilege, complaining that you don't have privilege. Now, the same thing applies to the anti-Trump right-wingers out there. The fact that these people went from an open border and all of the problems that the Biden administration had in this country, we went from that to now things are going so good in this country that these anti-Trump right-wingers, the worst thing that they can find in their day is that they've invented a scenario that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. That's how good their fucking life is, that they have time to just spend all day coming up with theories that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. And they don't even see it. Unbelievable. Welcome to the world under Trump.
Rio back in 2021, when those 20,000 Haitians were crossing the river, similar images to this. You had some border patrol there. You had Texas DPS there trying to stop them. Here in Spain, there is absolutely nothing stopping these folks from wading ashore and climbing the fences. And Sandra, look at that in the background. There are thousands upon thousands of these men just flooding the country.
And there are reported deaths as well of some of those that are crossing over by water. We're going to be on this. We're going to have brand new details as this story develops. We'll have those for you.
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Right here, Spain has armored vehicles and military following the invasion of the military-aged African migrants by the thousands. An absolute nightmare, dude. An absolute nightmare. The man bro dude for 20 says, not gonna lie, I kind of tired of this show. All Jeremy does is complain like a woman. Why I'm rich, why I talk to famous people, why I make coffee. Oh, wait, wrong Jer. Never mind. I guess this show is okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You got me on this one. That is next level super chat right there. All right. The man bro dude. Well done, sir. Well done indeed. That was good. That was good. Thank you. Steven with 5 gifted memberships. I was telling Marty on the phone, I was like, man, years ago when I started taking off on YouTube, and I said, I used to get a lot of hate from like the left. They call me racist and sexist and all these things, whatever. And so I would encourage like the people that watch the channel. I'm like, just pretend you hate me too. And then it just drowns out their hate. And then the people that really hate me have to go overboard with showing that they really do hate me. And so I was telling him this. I'm like, but it's gotten to the point where I can't tell who hates me anymore. Like, I don't even know. I've lost track of like who really hates me and who's trolling to hate me. I can't tell anymore. So it is what it is, you know. BMCCB says, I've just started screening Jeremy's calls. Once he starts talking, he won't stop. This is true. This is true. Nandor199 says, tomorrow's my birthday. Have some money. Hail the 199 and good Jer. I would have sent a 50, but I need money for my drinks. I am getting too close to 40. Brother, I hear you on that. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hail to you. And happy early birthday. Let's see here. Nas Faratu says, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed in your spelling. I don't know if you intentionally did that or not. I have no idea. Can't tell. Little Jim Sailor says, do you ever know what you... There you go. There you go. The Star Killer Sith Lord says, thanks for streaming tonight, Jeremy. I needed this entertainment after a crappy work week. It's also my birthday tomorrow. I turned 22 for the 10th time. Happy 22nd birthday for the 10th time. Congrats to you. Congrats to you. Narco says, no women, children, thousands of military-aged males. This is an invasion. This is the 100-year Muslim invasion I was briefed on as a cadet in its 40th year. One AC 130 could have cleaned that up real quick. Absolutely. It's scary, man. And there's more video. There's plenty more video, too, of this. So, I mean, there's a lot of them out there. It's actually overwhelming, some of the videos that we were seeing. And like even Elon Musk has commented on it. It's absolutely an invasion in Spain. I mean, that's the, you know, I think anybody with common sense sees this, but it's always good when Elon is willing to signal boost stuff like that. Insane footage right here. Thousands of migrants are gathering at the border. Look at that.
What's up?
There you go. So, yeah, it's rough, man. And it looks like something that, again, as I've said, you can watch this and think like, oh, that's happening there. It would never happen here. I'm sorry, but you have no idea what's going on if you think that this can't happen here after what happened with the Joe Biden administration and Kamala Harris being like, I know that Trump won in a landslide, but this could have been very, very bad for us. And the fact that I don't know how many tens of millions of people voted for Kamala, you know what I mean? We have a lot of stupid people that are willing to vote Democrat. A lot. Let's see here. Packy Proton says Minions tomorrow. I'm going to have to, aren't I? You're not going to let me off the hook, and nor should you. Yapping Tom says, Bernthal screaming had me. I want their spinoff. Bernthal and Holland were great. They were great. John says, shout out to my wife, Lauren. Best birthday ever. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat and happy birthday. Hayden Wayne 450 says, I've been saying for a long time that nukes fixed Japan. We could just drop them in a couple of other places and, yeah, cause lots of problems. But imagine the world on the other side of that. Hayden, have you evolved into Thanos? I'm not mad if you have. But you're starting to sound very much like Thanos. And I am not mad about it at all. Hayden, you may have to evolve your profile picture a little bit, you know. A small price to pay. That's right. Oh man, that's good. Hail to you, Hayden Wayne. Dan Campbell says, Spanish government scammed our military out of hundreds of millions by charging an average of $3,000 a month in rent. When a Spaniard barely paid €100 for the same, their economy survived almost solely off of our government, says Dan Campbell. Hail to you. Yeah, man, it's ugly, ugly stuff. May the 5th be with you for $1. Thank you. Phil says, Crowder had a black pastor on his show today. It was gold, and yes, I'm mad at you too. But I don't know why I am. Can you let me know why I'm mad? I mean, there's a lot of reasons, to be fair. I think it would probably take a lot of time away from the show if we started to try to dwindle it down to like 5 things, but there's a lot of reasons why. JDT199 for 20 says, I was trying to help you out, bro. Vegas is so hot that your beauty filter might melt off, leaving you looking like a puddle of coke with a headset. Lamau, I wish I could have made it when y'all were there with the slot machines. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm really not. I'm not looking forward to the heat. It's going to be miserable. It's going to be a disaster. But that's just what Vegas is. At least the humidity's not that bad in Vegas, usually. I mean, it's still, the heat's bad, but it's been really, really bad. It's been really, really bad here in Florida with the humidity. It's been absolutely horrible. So, let's see. Steel Leg, what up, man? How you doing? Good to see you, brother, as always. Jesus, man. For those that are tuning in, we were talking about this insane situation. I got to play this for just a minute because I've got to step away for 2 seconds. So I'll be right back.
Wild video here. Chaos at the border of Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police. Their video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore another way, some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2024, kind of similar to what we saw in Del Rio back in 2021. The socialist agenda.
I'm back. I'm not pulling a Hassan. Fuck you. I'm not pulling a Hassan. Damn it. I had to check on something. Something that sounded like something fell and nobody was answering the damn phone. And I'm like, I literally have to walk away from my stream because you motherfuckers aren't answering your phone. Anyway, we're back now. But this is the latest update for those that are tuning in with the crazy situation right now over in Spain. And as I've said many times, welcome to your future if you vote for Democrats. Forget your problems with Trump. Forget your problems with the Republicans. I'm not saying you can't have them. But at the end of the day, when November gets here, what type of world do you want to live in? And that's really what it comes down to. What type of world do you want to live in? I want to live in a world where legalized adulthood drops a proper $199. And that's exactly what he did right here. Legalize adulthood for a proper $199. Says breaking IDOT War Force Unit 199, checking in with more Spanish pesos for your MI6 operation. I never know where these things are going. Dave Rubin called. He says his border was once penetrated. Dave Rubin called and said that his border was once penetrated by thousands of military-aged men from Africa. He couldn't sit for a week. Hail the snake pit. See you in Vegas. Damn. I never, ever, ever know what direction legalized adulthood is going with that one. I have no idea. But what I do know is when he shows up with a proper 199, we have to celebrate the only way we know how to celebrate here at the snake pit. The little bit of Sydney Sweeney. Everybody gets happy when we celebrate like this. I get happy. Sure, you get happy. Everybody gets happy. Red dress, Sydney Sweeney showing up. We all like that. Chat really enjoys it. 20 gifted memberships as well from Legalize Adulthood in the house. Holy crap. That's the type of world I want to live in right there. That one indeed. Thank you, Legalize Adulthood. Narco for 10 says, I'm not exaggerating. Briefed in 2005 as a freshman. And is it, do I say the letters for the 100-year plan? 79 was the start. AQ is Al-Qaeda and 9/11. The next step, ISIS and now IRGC is pushing the invasion. They are brainwashed zombies. Honestly, calling them brainwashed zombies is very accurate when you look at this. Like, I mean, I know we use that terminology a lot. These literally are brainwashed zombies. Like, look at that. Look at how they are acting. Look at how they're doing exactly what they're told to do. Look at this. It's insane. Literal brainwashed zombies. World War Z, 100%. World War Z. Legalized Adulthood says, my favorite part of the black dress clip is the black lesbian in the background chewing gum in the hoodie. Now I gotta look. I have never looked at anybody in the background until you just brought that up. I have literally never noticed another person in this video until you just said that. I don't think anybody ever has. And now I can't unsee it. Like TJ just said. Damn you, Legalize Adulthood. You know what? It's not even worth it. It's not worth your proper $199. No. It's not worth it. You just ruined that image for me. Damn it. That's what I get. That's what I get right there. World War Z in real life. Yes. No bullshit. Like, and some of you may not know what World War Z is. I'm sure some of you do. But if you just look at the, let's look up the World War Z trailer. I don't think I'll get hit for this. I don't think. Is this the one that ends like that? Let's see here. World War Z.
I'm not gonna force you to fight. Let's pretend you're not well suited for the job. Baby. Tell the kids I'm coming back. Just, I'm coming back.
Literally. Bro, that's 100% what we are watching right there. Holy shit. World War Z in real life. Holy crap. Woo. Scary times, man. Scary times. Mindless zombies doing exactly what they are told to do, not questioning, just going there to absolutely destroy everything in its path. Here we go.
Has, quote, totally collapsed. So take a look. Thousands of migrants stormed the Spanish territory of Ceuta. This is on the North African coast after coming by sea from Morocco. It's about a 3-mile swim. And take another look, Trey. Spain's Interior Ministry says the government actually could not declare a national emergency because under Spanish law, migration flows are not considered a national security risk. The head of Ceuta's regional government said today's surge came after more than 1,500 migrants arrived over the past week. Migrant reception centers were already overwhelmed before today. Ceuta authorities previously blamed the surge on a Spanish Supreme Court decision that guarantees due process for illegal migrants arriving by sea. The White House has already reacted to this today, writing, quote, President Trump has long warned Europe what would happen if they continue to implement far-left globalist policies, including enabling mass migration. Spain and other countries who have adopted this destructive philosophy should immediately reverse course or risk their own demise.
Yeah.
Spain's socialist government is exceptionally welcoming to migrants and recently launched a program to provide legal status for 500,000 illegal migrants. Here's Nebraska Senator Deb Fischer reacting to it.
If this doesn't wake up the people in this country, when they see what an open border is going to cause, they need to tune in and start watching. This is frightening. It's very sobering, but it's also really sad. A lot of people think, oh, we need to open our borders and open our country and offer opportunity to all those who need it.
I am so tired of people that have that mindset. Stephen Miller says that Democrats will force America into being invaded by barbarians the same as Spain, and they will rejoice. Democrats will see your home trampled and stolen by invaders, and they will rejoice. The Democrats did this to America every single day for 4 years under Biden and will do it again instantaneously, but orders of magnitude greater. And they are given, if they are given any form of national power, 1,000%. And we all know it. Every single person watching this knows that that's exactly what they will do given the opportunity. It's scary. We got a clip right here. Reports indicate illegal aliens in Spain are now attempting to break into homes as midnight approaches. So they're just trying to break into people's houses right now. Again, I give you a shot of World War Z one more time. Literally what is happening right there. Good Lord, man. The man bro dude for 20 says, can I get that clip of Kata's girlfriend flopping into the car? I appreciate it. Damn! One more time for the people in the back. Damn! Damn! Thank you, man, bro. Dude. Oh, God. Absolutely terrifying. And I guess, we're just going to have to see how this progresses, but it should stand as a warning to all that this could be America if you let Democrats back in power. Holy crap. What is this? Hang on. Dude, you remember when we covered the Los Angeles riots? That's what this shit looked like. This is exactly what this looks like. Good Lord, man. What a disaster. Yep, we got that. These AI images kind of bother me when they put those because I'm thinking it's like an interview, but it's actually just an AI image. It's kind of scary, actually. So right here, third world African invaders who stormed into Spain are now raiding homes at 1 a.m. They're just raiding homes. It's crazy, man. It's not going to stop because you have these libs who just I just can't. You don't have to live like this, man. You just don't. Why would you want to live like this? You wouldn't. No one actually wants to live like this. Let's see where we're at. Ministry of Wrong Things says, does Criticalist have a word count cap? I'm drafting my review for the Odyssey. I'm going to watch it one more time before I finish my thoughts. I don't think so. Ministry of Wrong Thing? I don't think so. But I'm interested now to hear what you think. So I'm very interested. We'll see. We'll see. But I don't think so. I don't think that it has. I've seen some reviews that have a very, very long word count. So I don't think so. Where is it? Is it El Cid when you need him? The Melting Snowman says Eric July cried to a con to get a guy who didn't like his YouTube merch banned. He's so buck broken. What? What? Who's Eric July? I don't associate with those people, so I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. And I would put more focus on you, but you don't have enough money. But the man bro dude does. Okay, that's 2 supers with great result. Appreciate ya, brother. Thank you, man bro dude. And see, 8 o'clock knows the rules. I have said multiple times to the Eric July haters, I personally do not mind if you hate on Eric July, but I'm going to need a minimum of 50 to do it. Okay? Now, because I typically don't pre-screen anything, but since I didn't, now I have to drop some gifties in the chat because I fucked up. So now I have to drop gifties. So here we go. All right, let's drop some gifties. I fucked up. I broke my own rule. I said that you can send the super chat about Eric, but I can't read it unless it's 50 or up. And I broke my rule, so I have to pay the fee. I have to pay the fee to the chat. So there you go. And it's almost through. Boom. There we go. All right. I paid my toll. There it is. Broke the Eric July rule around here. Can't do that anymore. Thank you, man, bro, dude. Thank you, brother. You've been crushing it tonight. That first one, though, was excellent. So I wish I still had it. Let me see if I can't pull it up. Well, I can pull it up. Let me go to the fan funding tab. So like right here, okay? Man, bro, dude. So as I'm reading super chats, there's yours right there. As I'm seeing what it is, I'm constantly like processing like, okay, how am I going to handle this one? When you said this, well, first of all, like everything was kind of making sense. But when you made the coffee comment, I was about to like flip that and roast you about the coffee, considering I don't have a coffee company. But then I realized what you were doing. But I almost walked into the trap. But this is next level shit right here. So great job, sir. Great job indeed. That is a damn good super chat right there. Definitely had me on that one. It was good. But thank you, man, bro, dude. And you know what?
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way. So tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
There you go, man, bro, dude. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Spain needs Thanos. They need a lot more than Thanos at this point, but anything would work, I'm sure. Bill Herb says the Spaniards who fought to reconquer the Iberian Peninsula and create one of the greatest civilizations in European history would be furious right now. They are disrespecting their ancestors. Yeah, I mean, there's just no planet in the world where an open border... Like, okay, let's look at liberal Disney, okay? Liberal Disney. Do you know what's funny about liberal Disney? Try to go to a Disney theme park without ID, without documentation. Suddenly Disney believes in a wall. Suddenly Disney believes in ID. Suddenly Disney believes that you're supposed to provide documentation. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Liberal Disney suddenly believes in walls and documentation and all of that. That's interesting. I thought you just thought that anybody could come and go as they please. It's fucking bullshit. Narco says, as a previous custodian of 68 nuclear cruise missiles when I flew buffs and a bit of a historian myself, I understand the implications. However, Hayden Wayne is not out of line. He is correct. He is correct. Yep. Hail to Hayden Wayne. Bill Herb says, after watching The Odyssey, I think Nolan would be amazing directing a story about Vikings. Much more his tone and fits his grounded style more, in my opinion. Also, could allow him to do more horror stuff. I mean, his style works in, different ways, but there's things that I don't want him to be involved in too. But yeah, I don't know, a full-on horror movie from Nolan. I'm not sure. I mean, it might be okay. It's hard to know. But we'll see what he does next. No telling what he's up to. John freaking Murdoch 450 says, not the first time Muslims invaded Spain. Wait, what is it? Moors? Same difference, though. Same difference. Thank you, John. I didn't know if you were trying to trip me up or not on that one. But thank you, John. I was worried if you were still mad at me. Clearly, you're not mad at me, so I'm happy to know that. So that's good to know. If you're just tuning in, chat, I will play the update that we're talking about because I do think this is a serious issue, especially leading into the midterms. This is crucial right here. Understand, this could be the United States of America in just a few years. That is not an understatement. That is not hyperbole. That is not. This is as serious as it can be. Do you understand how quickly this could happen to this country? I don't know if people have fully understood how serious this shit is. As a matter of fact, I'm in a pretty big blue area right now because Florida, even though Florida is red, Orlando is not a red area. Orlando is not red, unfortunately. And it doesn't even seem like the United States of America walking around this city half the time. It's fucking crazy. It looks like Orlando looks like this shit right here. Half the time.
Chaos at the border of Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police. Their video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore another way, some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2024, kind of similar to what we saw in Del Rio back in 2021. The socialist agenda, their platform literally says they want to abolish borders, abolish immigration enforcement, have complete freedom of movement. This is what it looks like in another country if they get what they want. Notice there is no resistance from the government whatsoever. These people are coming in without any obstruction. And if people don't know, Spain has a very left-wing government. Earlier this year, they did a big amnesty program for over 1 million illegal immigrants living in the country. They had 1.3 million illegal immigrants apply for that amnesty program between April and June. So that's what we call a pull factor, Sandra. They're looking for something like that. They know if they can just get their foot in the country, maybe someday that left-wing government will do another amnesty program. And you were just reading some of the wires. The locals want. Okay, you're asking the right questions, sir. Hang on. Who said that? You're asking the right questions. Where are the freaking sharks? There it is right there. There we go. There we go. That is the question right there. That is good stuff. Yes, I am right. It is. I actually went to Grok and pulled up the racial demographics here in Orlando. That's the racial demographics right there. It ain't getting better around here. That's for sure. It ain't getting better. That's your demographics right there. Not good. An emergency declaration. It sounds like
The ministry's saying no, and they will not deploy military to the border.
apparently they don't think this is an I mean, look at this. This is a total free-for-all.
It does feel like we are looking at a few years ago when you're reporting at the border here in the United States. This is happening right now. This story is breaking right now. And you're not just talking about hundreds, thousands of migrants are pouring over the borders as we speak.
Yeah.
Maybe the sharks are like, man, if we can get them out of the water, they'll be out of our area. Yeah. Sharks are like, let's just scare them to the border. Let's scare them out of our area. We don't even want to eat them. We don't even, just get them out. Just scare them. Get them the fuck out of our water. Just scare them to the shore. Good call.
And again, I mean, just look here. Do you see any women or children? I mean, most people would call these folks so-called asylum seekers. These are all young guys just flooding into the country and overwhelming what, if any, border there is. It looks like there's just kind of a small barbed wire fence or something like that. But you can see the Spanish government is caught completely off guard here, and you have thousands of these men. I mean, it literally looks like you often hear the word invasion, but it literally looks like one here. Look at that. I mean, you see the border fence there. They're all just going around it. And again,
the head of Spain's civil guard is calling this absolute chaos. In a brand new interview, he said, quote, "It's not possible to give precise numbers, but there are thousands of migrants crossing right now." He added that the border has totally collapsed, quote unquote.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. And for folks who don't know where this is a small Spanish city, autonomous in North Africa. It's actually in Morocco, but it is.
Now, I can't say it because, it's YouTube and everything, but I have a friend that can say it right here. So I'm just going to say what everybody wants to say.
Somebody get these beggars out of here. I'm gonna get these lame ass, broke ass, dirty ass, smelly ass, beneath me ass, bitch ass niggas out of here. Somebody get these beggars out of here.
It does have Spanish autonomy. It's called Ceuta. So this isn't on the mainland of Spain. But these images, we've been looking at them on social media all morning. It's just stark to see that there is no resistance whatsoever. I mean, at least in Del Rio back in 2021, when those 20,000 Haitians were crossing the river, similar images to this, you had some border patrol there. You had Texas DPS there trying to stop them. Here in Spain, there is absolutely nothing stopping these folks from wading ashore and climbing the fences. And Sandra, look at that in the background. I mean, there are thousands upon thousands of these men just flooding the country.
And there are reported deaths as well of some of those that are crossing over by water. We're going to be on this. We're going to have brand new details as this story develops. We'll have those.
It's a fucking nightmare, man. It's an absolute nightmare. John freaking Murdoch says, "Come on, Jeremy. I could never be mad at you." Look at that. Round of applause for John freaking Murdoch. Thank you, sir. Hail to John. I knew it. I told you he wasn't really mad at me. I was just being sarcastic anyway. Thank you, John. Dan Campbell says, right now, only 2 countries are raiding and fighting the Mexican cartel in the EU, Poland and Spain. Other countries are allowing the cartel to traffic in people plus drugs with their protection. No saving them. Makes me want to watch Sicario. I haven't watched that in a while. Ministry of Realm thinks that Spain looks like World War Z. Correct. Pat K says, I don't know how to say it. Situa is how you say it. Is Africa Spanish since the, I'm not even gonna try to say it. The love between Jeremy and John is real. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? Is real. What do you think? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Fantastic Knox says, this is why borders matter. Idiots who say borders are a myth. Illegals are allowed to cross borders. Don't understand allowing this can do it to another country. It's just its most basic fundamental thing. Like, even when you live in a decent neighborhood, you're still locking your door at night. When you go to the store, you're locking your doors in your car when you go inside. These are just basic things. You have to protect yourself and your belongings and your family. You just have to. Like, it's just common sense. So for any clown, all right, anybody, I don't care who they are, anybody that tries to argue for open borders, they have to answer the question, do you lock your doors at night? And will you just give your address out so that people that want to come stay in your house can stay in your house? Like, If you're not willing to give your address out and to open your doors to everybody, then how can you say that you are for open borders? And if anybody says that those are different things, they're not different at all. They are literally the same fucking thing. This is our home. We don't want people that are not welcome in our home. Simple as that. This is not complicated. It's never been complicated. 8 o'clock says this double-edged mindset. I'm thankful Trump is in charge, stop the mass illegal immigration, but shouldn't be up to one person to stop it. I could not agree more. It's what I've said about Trump and Elon is that I'm thankful that we have Trump and Elon, but I'm also scared that we're so reliant upon one or two very powerful, historic people that if it wasn't for, like, if Trump and Elon were not here, I don't want to think about the world that we would be in right now. It's terrifying. And like there's no it's not an accident that Elon Musk is who he is. Elon Musk, no matter what, Elon Musk was always going to be Elon Musk. He was always going to be who he is because he's a legendary figure, and he was always going to have a major impact on humanity. And then Donald Trump is just a rare individual that is just, there's no moment that's too big for Trump. It doesn't matter, But these two guys, I mean, Trump's 80 now. He's not going to live forever. He'll probably live to 199, but he's not going to live forever. But I mean, in all reality, I would imagine Trump has 10 good years left, like before he won't be able to be as mobile and all that. And it may have less than that. And of course, Elon, richest man in the world, changing the world every day. But we're too reliant upon these two guys, and that's scary. Dan Campbell says Spain has a military, but Spanish men are the most effeminate beaches there are. This looked like Spain under Obama when I was there in 2010, 2012. Bill Herb says a time for, I don't know how to say it, Reconquista 2, Electric Boogaloo, starring the return of the Inquisition. Movie Erotic says, did Spider-Man Brand New Day do a Martha moment? Is it true? A Martha moment? Is that what people are saying? In reference to what? I mean, I don't remember a Martha moment. What are people saying by that? I don't understand. Jose says, first time donating. Just wanted to say what's up, man. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Hail to you. First time donation. The Aunt May moment instead. I wouldn't call that a Martha moment, but again, that's all part of that's a part of the movie that fell flat for me. So that entire storyline, I did not care about at all. Fantastic Snock says, all looking military-aged men, no women and kids. Exactly. Saratoga says, scary times in Spain. We had hundreds of thousands of illegals crossing the borders under Biden monthly. Now it's only 5,000 to 10,000 per month progress. Do we even have 5,000 to 10,000 passing? Let's see here. The 1A train says the scariest part is the 4 years this exact video was southern border under Biden, and the Dems were more than okay with it and want it again. That's what worries me more than anything about this. That's the problem. You can say that, oh, this is in another part of the country. Bro, we are beyond worrying about like, well, that's happening there. It can't happen here. I bring up, thank you, A-Train. I bring up the thing with Tim Tebow, that he brought up many times about the problem with, predators online and how there's this kind of idea of like, there's so many in all these other countries. But the reality of it is there's a lot going on here. More than you can even possibly comprehend. It's happening. And that's just terrifying, man. Marmellon says that we don't want these. Thank you, Mark. God, the beggar meme has been out of control. It's like I have seen it so much on Instagram. There's just been so many. It's out of control, the beggar meme. It's so great. It's so great. Ryan Walker says, if they try doing this stuff in Texas, they'll meet Jesus. Fantastic Knox says, these videos of illegals in Spain lighting cars. Hang on. Let me see if there's any new videos. Let's see if I can find any really quick. Yep. Hang on. Benny Johnson had posted it. Let's see here. Benny. Let's see here. Good Lord. So they're screaming Allah Akbar while conquering Spain.
No, estaba mirando para allá, no te vi.
It sounds like literal hell is what it sounds like. It sounds like literal hell. Or your average Walmart here in Orlando. Freaking crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. What is this right here? Jesus. Jesus. God. Alex Arrowcave says late to the stream because last night's CobraCast fell asleep before it came on streamer. Meta PC code 199. Thank you, Alex Arrowcave. Vic Chavez says, Hail Supreme Commander. I can't say what I want to hear. I might have to start watching on Kick or Rumble. I'm just glad Elon is not silent about this. I appreciate it, brother. I do appreciate it. Over on Rumble, we got Sir, is it Jor J for $50. Placed an order at Meta PC today. Used code 199. Saved $50. So here, look at that, man. I got the email notification for that too. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you for supporting us over on Meta PC. Promo code 199. I appreciate it, man. You'll love your Meta PC. So thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. Hail to you as well. This is awful. Sean, I'm going to need some clarification. Are you talking about my show or what's happening in Spain? Either is going to apply, by the way. So I'm not going to say you're wrong, but like, if you're just coming here saying this is awful, like, is it? And if you're saying it about my show, then I'm going to make fun of your spelling. But if you're saying it about Spain, I'm not going to make fun of your spelling. So either way, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Probably equal. Probably. I think he meant Spain. Spain, dummy. You know what? I appreciate the insult. I appreciate the insult. Okay. All right. I'm not even going to say nothing because I respect it. I respect the insult. Thank you. Jeremy, what, Jeremy? You don't want this coming to a neighborhood to you? Yeah, exactly. I want nothing to do with this. Nor does anyone else. The invasion of Spain is ongoing as traffic in Morocco leading to the border is now gridlocked for over 10 miles. Police estimate 20,000 illegal Africans have crossed today alone. That is unbelievable. Good Lord. CNN will not show this. You know, that's actually interesting. I'm actually going to go to their YouTube channel right now. I am curious if CNN is covering this at all, if they have any video. Let's see here. All right. I don't see any video on CNN's YouTube channel. Not to say they haven't covered it on their network, but they don't have an upload on the YouTube for it. Isn't that interesting? How about MSNBC? Or what is it called now? MS Now? Is that what it's called? MS Now. Okay. MS Now. I don't see. Oh my God. Scrolling through their channel is really like, okay, dude. Okay, they're not covering this, but guess what they do have? They have Epstein, where Trump is a Lego character. That's what they're focusing on right there. Are you kidding me? Jeez. What a freaking disaster. My God, man. Phil for real for 20 says first time donator. Keep up the good work, man. Love your streams. I thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate it. I am amazed at how many people, watch and support, and I'm thankful that people don't hate me as much as it seems like they do, but at the same time I think they do. So, but yes, serious news source, right? Noon. That's right. Noon Moon. But thank you, Phil. I appreciate it. Hail to you. Christmas loving engineer for 20 says, try to say my work area in Houston was too trash to walk to nearby fast food places under a certain Democratic president anymore, but YouTube be policing. Get them beggars out of here. Do you think they're going to start censoring beggars?
People would call these folks so.
Do you think that they would do that? Like the beggars thing is freaking taken off, but I've seen like people are applying it to all these different things, man. Like some of the shorts I've seen are absolutely fantastic. There was one earlier. These guys put this one together. This one right here.
Got him back! Beggar the other day. Shoot it already. Come on, hit the shot. Guys, this shot's impossible. Mind if I give it a shot? Someone get this beggar out of here! Hey, he could be the one. Forget him. This is our friend group now. Impossible. I knew it! Boys, get him! Get him! The bullshit! The bullshit! The pillows! The pillows! Oh no! No, the chairs! The chairs! Please, please, let me stay in the front group. Someone get this beggar out of here!
The beggar meme will live on, and it is awesome. Get these beggars out of here. Thank you, Narco. Ed says nothing. Narco said it before I could say it and says nothing. This means nothing to me. Daniel, again, I need clarification. Thank you for the 20. Daniel, I need clarification. When you say this means nothing to me, are you talking about my show or do you mean the clip that I just showed? Either answer applies, but the clip. Okay. Just wanted to make sure, man. Just wanted to make sure. We'll make sure we're on the same page. You know what I'm saying? So both, just you, Jeremy. Yes, Border Patrol says there have been 5,000 to 10,000 crossings a month since in 2026. The vast majority are caught and deported. These are still generational low numbers. Yeah, and that's why I was curious, because listen, as much as I love Trump, okay, but I don't think that it's crazy to say that President Trump tends to oversell every now and then. He has an ability to oversell occasionally. So you see Trump's like, not one person has crossed the border since I took over. And you're like, okay, well, there's probably been at least one President Trump. But he's like, not one. No one has crossed the border. Not one person. Like, oh, man. So freaking funny. Bill Herb says, I saw someone bring up World War Z on Twitter. They posted an Israel wall scene specifically, and someone, of course, said that they are behind it. Not like the leftist policies had anything to do with it. Exactly. No, it can't be those leftist policies. But look, let's be real here for a minute. We're gonna shift gears here, because the thing is like as much as obviously I think there's a lot of good stuff, man, there is an enormous amount of heat on President Trump right now, and it's not just the Democrats. It's just not. And we have to be aware of that. That is the truth. And there's a lot of people that are criticizing Trump. I think I played this the other day, but we're going to play it again. Alex Jones is calling for the impeachment of President Trump and the 25th Amendment.
The big issue is how to stop Trump. And we have to have Congress go for the war powers. They've 3 times tried to vote war powers. They're supposed to authorize a war. This is a war. They're getting the draft ready. If this isn't a war, nothing's a war. I mean, this is absolutely out of control. And so I'm calling for it right now. 25th Amendment, impeachment, whatever needs to happen to get this front and center to get.
Now, obviously, I don't agree with this. And I'm not playing this because I think that there is legitimacy to it. But this is part of the pressure that is on Trump from all different sides right now. I have not seen the intensity at this level since I've been covering Trump. And I think that there's a couple of reasons for that. Obviously, I think that there's a lot of people that are positioning, getting ready for 2028. And they basically are like, we've gotten all of our use out of Trump, so now we're going to have to shift and reposition and try to move away, yada, yada, yada. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Control of our country. It's impeachable alone that the president supporting the NDAA. I agree with Tucker Carlson that all of the people that voted for this, the mergers with the foreign military, it actually says it in Section 219, clear as day, need to be in Nuremberg-style trials. I mean, this is unbelievable. And if you think it's crazy now, imagine what's coming with this. They want us in a total war so they can censor and take our freedoms and nationalize everything and push us aside with AI, total liability, immunity, and protection. This is a disaster. We are facing tyranny, but the public's awakening. We've got to come together and transcend left and right. And we have to say no to an expanded war that will definitely destroy the economy, kill a bunch of our troops. They're preparing a massive ground invasion.
So you have that. Then you have people like Owen Schroyer, who says that Lindsey Graham was murdered by Russia. You have to understand how the meta starts working on social media. So Candace Owens created the new meta, okay? That's what has happened. So Candace Owens has created this new ecosystem of content, okay? And so she's not going to be the last. And so now here we are with this.
Watching the aftermath of this proves to me, I think, that it's foul play. Obviously, this wouldn't hold up in court. I know. I just know how propaganda works, and I know how the political world thinks. To me, if this was really an organic thing and Lindsey just wasn't long for the world and that was it, I think they'd be laying off. I think that they.
How old was Lindsey Graham again? I know he was an older guy. How old was he? I can't remember. I think was he in his 70s? How old was he? I'm waiting for the chat to tell me. 71? Yeah. A 71-year-old man died. Oh, it must be a foreign country behind it.
They would be laying off and they'd just be saying, you know what, Lindsey Graham had a good run. And you know what, somebody else is going to run now. It's time. But they were not anticipating this. And I think they even believe it was foul play themselves. And so that's why they're going to ensure that Lindsey Graham's legacy goes on. They're going to not let Russia or whoever it was that gave Lindsey Graham a dirt nap, they're going to not let them win by getting Graham, who's a rubber stamp for war, who's a rubber stamp for all things deep state in the Senate. They're not going to give him that victory, so they're just going to replace Lindsey Graham with his sister, and she's going to vote the exact same way. And they're just going to tell her how to vote. You think, what political experience does Darlene Graham?
I mean, so you have that. Then you have Tucker Carlson says Trump's campaign promises are being broken and openly mocked.
That coalition that he brought in, I don't think President Trump would be president if he had not brought that in. And so for me, if we're talking about the coalition that said no more war, make America healthy again, we're losing. The promises are being broken. The promises are being broken. Mocked, openly mocked. That coalition that he brought in.
And there was a video of Alex Jones. Alex Jones said that Trump was going to, I think there was something to do with him bringing back the draft or whatever. Is this it right here? So
the big issue is how to stop Trump. And we have to have Congress go for the war powers. They've 3 times tried to vote war powers. They're supposed to authorize a war. This is a war. They're getting the draft ready. If this isn't a war, nothing's a war. I mean, this is absolutely out of control. And so I'm calling for it right now. 25th Amendment, impeachment, whatever needs to happen to get this.
So this is the one we were talking about earlier. But yeah, so the draft part is what I wanted to make sure we put emphasis on this one. So now, like, that maybe they'll draft me. I know I'm old, but maybe I'll get drafted too.
Front and center to get control of our country. It's impeachable alone that the president's supporting the NDAA. I agree with Tucker Carlson that all of the people that voted for this to merge us with a foreign military, it actually says it in Section 219, clear as day, need to be in Nuremberg.
Keeping it real says you're always calling Alex Jones out for something. Shut the fuck up. Hang on. Where did it go? You're always calling for something, Alex. Oh, fuck. I thought you were saying I'm always calling him out. 10 get the memberships. Fuck me. I was about to rant on you. You were calling Alex Jones out. 10 get the memberships. Trust me, I don't want to fucking be paying these gifted memberships. I didn't mean to fuck that one up. Can you guys quit talking shit? All right? Damn it. See, keeping it real just dropped 10 gifted memberships. Fuck. One day I'll try to read a little bit more before I start just reacting. You know? The fuck are we doing around here? It happens. Jeremy screwed up tax. Vault 199 Gaming says it's more accurate to call the invaders bioweapons. Polish Prince says, Marty is cool, but I want Master Chief autograph. Commodore Fan says, all I'll say is make sure your 2A game is strong. Nosferatu for $1 and a gifted membership. Thank you. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, Spain denying bases for USA, but let illegals in. Phil says, beggars can swim now. They're evolving. Lying dog face pony soldier with a gifted membership. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, didn't know they could swim. Guess they swim now. They swim now? Minister Von thinks is that they are still lying about merging the military with Israel. That was another bogus propaganda push. That was not what the bill did. Well, first of all, how dare you bring a logic and common sense into this situation? None of that is allowed around here. So let's keep that in mind, okay? Thank you, Ministry of Wrong Think.
Style trials. I mean, this is unbelievable. And if you think it's crazy now, imagine what's coming with this. They want us in a total war so they can censor and take our freedoms and nationalize everything and push us aside with AI, total liability, immunity and protection. This is a disaster. We are facing tyranny, but the public's awakening. We've got to come together and transcend left and right. And we have to say no to an expanded war that will definitely destroy the economy, kill a bunch of our troops. They're preparing a massive ground invasion. It's all confirmed. This is going down right now. Rex, what do you think we should do to spotlight this? I'll tell listeners, we're live right now. Share our live feed. We're going to cut all this up. Breaking. Alex Jones calls for impeachment of President Trump for attempt to implement the national draft and launch total ground invasion of Iran. Americans left and right must come together now and demand Congress invoke the war powers and end this war now. The Senate must vote down the NDAA that's already passed the House. We have our action plan, Rex Jones.
So there you go. Good old Alex Jones. Now, what do you expect? Alex has been doing this for a long time. But it's not there's so many people now. So Sean Strickland has gotten into the stuff too. So Sean Strickland says when you're at a Trump rally, you're like, oh, I can definitely see how Hitler happened. It's a cult.
And if you've been to a Trump rally,
No.
Oh, dude, it's fucking nuts.
No.
So when you're at a Trump rally, you're like, oh, I could definitely see how Hitler happened. I'm not fucking joking to you, dude. When you go to a Trump rally, it makes
it's so stupid.
Makes you question the sanity of everybody. Trump's up.
Dude, I've been to a couple of Trump rallies. Do you know what a Trump rally is? It's a bunch of people that love freedom. That's what it is. That's it. It's just a normal get together with people that love freedom and love America. That's all it is.
Up there talking about we're going to throw people in jail for burning the flag. And I'm like, dude, you shouldn't do it, but it's there is a fucking constitution. I'm looking at Vivek.
Okay. Well, first of all, Sean Strickland, and by the way, can we make one thing clear? Sean could beat the living shit out of me. And so I ain't trying to talk shit to Sean Strickland. All right. But with that said, what aggravates me about this narrative is that why doesn't people like Sean Strickland bring up that when Donald Trump used to bring up the jab and Operation Warp Speed, that his own supporters would boo the shit out of him at rallies? Why don't they bring that up? Do you think Hitler was ever booed at one of his speeches by his own supporter? Do you think that was allowed? The fuck are we talking about? You think they boo over in China when the leader says something they don't like? It's fucking crazy that these motherfuckers just invent shit and lie about it without telling you the truth.
And Vivek is just fucking rubbing his head. He gets out and leaves the Trump rally. And I'm like, fuck. And everybody else is just fucking full send. Yeah, fuck him, throw him in jail. Like if Trump said, go grab a gun and go do anything, they would fucking do it. They would fucking do it.
I know it's a cult. It's and that's another good. That's one of the things about Christianity. You're not supposed to put. You don't put your faith in man. They will.
That's also what. That's also
fucking time.
And when
so I mean, this narrative is starting to grow, and that's why I'm wanting to bring it up, because the anti-Trump narrative from people that jumped on the MAGA bandwagon, and you have to understand, these are people that jumped on that MAGA bandwagon big time. As soon as Elon jumped on it, it was over. The bandwagon was so overloaded after Elon. And they all jumped on and they all pretended they loved and supported Trump as long as it was convenient. And then when it's not convenient anymore, then they decide to pull this, card. And so, but I did see this clip because I have to show this clip because it just shows you the honesty of Trump. This is at Lindsey Graham's funeral and he's reading the eulogy. And listen to what Trump says.
Heated things got in Washington. Virtually everyone, Republican or Democrat, liked Lindsey. Well, not everybody, but it sounds good. Not everybody. He was a tough cookie. Okay, I have to veer from this for a second. He was a tough cookie, darling.
Well, not everybody.
Heated things got in Washington. Virtually everyone, Republican or Democrat, liked Lindsey. Well, not everybody, but it sounds good. Not everybody. He was a tough cookie. Okay, I have to veer from this for a second. He was a tough cookie, darling, but he was beautiful.
Only Trump, man. Only Trump. J-Rock becomes a new member. Thank you, Veronid, with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for the 5 gifties. Don Slur Leg says, Jeremy, your channel is dying. Hail the quartering. And yes, this super chat is real. Is real. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tay for $1. Thank you. Narco says, isn't a war nor new. There is no draft. We are not losing. Would wrap up Iran in 6 to 9 months with a ground invasion. But fearmongers like Alex Jones are retarded. We know we could die. Let us fight. Hail Narco. There you go, right there. See? Listen to him. Don't listen to me. Listen to him. He knows what's up. Let's see. Lying Dogface says, people in prior days, Alex called Nuremberg trials for the deep state. Did he? J-Rock gifted membership. Thank you. Joshua says, Alex Jones has lost his damn mind. He's gone full Candace Owens. He's grifting so hard now because Trump disowned and denounced him. He sounds like a spoiled ex-wife. Grow the back up. I mean, this is just what I've been saying this for almost a year now, that the internet is just, it's becoming so detached from reality, man. It really is. And I guess that's just part of where we are with a decentralized internet. And I mean, again, I'll be clear that I would rather have this decentralized internet than what we had with the mainstream controlling it. But I've been doing the internet for a long time. And I've seen it kind of evolve and all of that. But as we've moved farther into social media being so much more prominent in people's lives, the internet has truly separated from reality in a way that it wasn't like this about 5 years ago. But that we are now full on where the internet exists in a bubble and then the real world exists in a completely different universe. And that's just how it's going to have to be. And it's going to continue to move in that direction. But it is crazy now how bad things are. And the gap. Like, I guarantee you, man, like there's people that probably have no understanding whatsoever in the real world, that there's even like these theories about what happened to Charlie Kirk. There's people that probably have no clue about this. They probably have never heard of Candace Owens, and they probably never heard of these theories surrounding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Just like they don't know anything about Epstein. They don't know anything about that. They don't talk about that. Do you think normal people are talking about Epstein? It's just crazy. Ministry of Wrong Think says it'll definitely destroy the economy. Quote, that's a quote. It'll definitely destroy the economy. We're still waiting on China, Russia to get off their asses and join World War V, Alex. And Alex also said that he said that Melania was going to be filing for divorce from Trump. That was the thing Alex was putting out there. Still waiting on that one. Nothing's happened. But I mean, what are you going to do? Oh my God. Oh, that's the same video that I saw earlier. There was one that I wanted to see. I don't know if I buy this, but and this kind of goes into the internet and how things play on the internet. Glenn Beck made a video the other day I didn't watch it, but I saw the title. This right here, okay? Glenn Beck, I don't buy this shit at all, but at least I don't buy the title. He said, Glenn noticed something different about Trump at Lindsey Graham's funeral. One day ago, 346,000 views. So is this the whole Trump change? I like Glenn Beck, by the way. I like Glenn Beck. I really do. But is this the whole like Trump changed?
Lindsey Graham, his coffin was just carried up the steps of the Capitol. Going to have a service today at the Capitol, then the National Cathedral, and then he'll be flying down to Carolinas, where he's going to be laid to rest. He'll have another private ceremony down there, I believe. But there's a story in the Washington Post that Lindsey Graham's death has left Trump reflecting on his own mortality.
I will say this, and honestly, now that he's framed it like that, okay. You might have me bought in a little bit, Glenn. I have not heard any of the video, but considering Trump's age, I might actually buy into that a little bit. The other thing too is Glenn Beck. One thing about him, Glenn Beck is one of the few people that can actually say that he overcame TDS. There's not many, and he is one of the best. He's one of the only people that defeated TDS.
Lindsey Graham's death has left Trump reflecting on his own mortality. I don't think it's Lindsey Graham's death alone, but there is something going on with the president. I want to talk about that here. So this story from the Washington Post, his sudden death this month.
I mean, I don't know. Trump's a different, animal, but I worry, but I think like every time like I have any type of ache anywhere, like I can literally have like something on my toe hurts, and I'm like, this may be the end for me, because that's how I am. Like, oh man, my pinky toe's hurting. This might be the end. So I'm paranoid like that.
Has rattled the president, according to Trump's public remarks and two people familiar with his private comments. In the days that followed, Trump returned repeatedly to the loss, public marveling at how somebody so active could be gone, privately musing on whether the senator's pushing or punishing travel schedule had contributed, and searching for answers in his family history and genetics. His sudden passing came on the eve of the 2-year anniversary of the assassination attempt on Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, where his survival probably came down to a matter of centimeters. Had Trump turned his head in a different direction, a bullet could have hit his head rather than his ear. That near-death experience prompted his own period of reflection. Trump told Newsmax on July 13 he had repeatedly reviewed the video.
Coopster says, I can't wait till Jeremy hits 50. I ain't far off, man, but I am very active. Where am I at right now on my daily steps? Where's my daily step counter at? Where the hell did it go? My daily steps. I am averaging. I've taken 22,000 steps today, and my daily average over the last 27 days is 21,000 steps a day. That's my daily average. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
There is a change in Donald Trump. And I don't know what it is exactly. Could be he's 80. I mean, there's a change in me, and I'm 62. And you get to a point where you realize, wait a minute, there's fewer years ahead than there are behind.
I did wonder if my video, I didn't know if the video froze or if Glenn Beck was just like thinking.
And what's really important? And you start changing, and it's good, it's healthy, it's normal. He's 80. But he's also had so many brushes with death and so many people trying to kill him all the time. Just today, we find out that Iran has put a hit out on his wife and his son. And they've gone as far as saying, here's where they like to shop in New York. So if you see them, kill them.
That's
insanity.
Wow.
How do you live?
I haven't even heard that. Think about that for a minute. Let's not gloss over that. Think about that.
And they've gone as far as saying, here's where they like to shop in New York.
Wow.
So if you see them, kill them.
Jeez.
That's insanity. How do you live with that?
Wow.
You know, everybody lives a life where, you know, there's a season in your life where everything, the noise becomes quieter. Even if the crowds are growing louder. And we look at this guy who has spent decades fighting, winning, losing, arguing, and returning to the arena. And we look at them and they think even it's never going to end. They never think about the end. And it's the confidence that they have. And that confidence leaves no room for contemplating things like that. And Donald Trump is not a guy to do that. But I think surviving something that takes your life or almost takes your life, I think that changes the arithmetic. You know, when literally a few centimeters become the distance between yesterday and eternity, and you still have people pointing guns at you, I think every sunrise carries different weight. It has to.
I've often thought about that with Trump. It's just like he seems like a machine that just never stops. And I mean, he's 80 years old. He's a billionaire. Before he became president, he was one of the most famous human beings in the world. And he was a billionaire, and he could do anything he wanted, and he could go anywhere he wanted, and he never had any resistance. And now, obviously, being the president, that obviously gives him a whole different set of clout, but it still has obviously made his life more difficult in a lot of ways, too. I mean, if I make it to 80, don't think I will, but if I ever do make it to 80 and I'm in a comfortable way financially, I just want to be sitting on the beach, man. I don't want to be, you know, on that grind like Trump is.
And I don't think it's fear with him. I think it's just awareness. He's been, you know, he's always talked, I've got good genes. We live forever. We live, you know, not meaning we actually live forever. Although we live, now there's people on the left, Glenn Beck, he knows something. Donald Trump's going to live forever and he's going to run forever. Anyway, when someone you've known for years is suddenly gone and they're close to you and they're of your age, Lindsey Graham, your mind begins asking questions that it never bothered to ask before. And if you've ever had a friend die at your age or younger than you,
Nips Litter says that you haven't smoked or drank, you will probably, so you probably will health wise. Yeah, but I don't have a great diet.
You know, how did that happen? I mean, I just talked to him 2 days ago. He was perfect. He was fine. There was no warning. Could he have known? How did he know? How would you know? Man, then you're like, I could drop dead tomorrow myself. And the questions that you ask yourself, and I think what the president is asking himself today, is not really about the one who died. It's about everybody who is still living. And the president lives in a box I can't even imagine. He lives in this place. When we were at the White House, I've been to the White House now for almost 30 years, going in and out of the White House. It's changed. The president has always lived in a bubble, but not like now. My gosh, it is. During the 4th of July, you couldn't get within 2 blocks of the White House. Literally, you couldn't get within 2 blocks. And he lives in this box. Millions are cheering him. Millions are criticizing him. Millions are threatening to kill him. I mean, around the world.
Yeah.
And yet he's living through this, and every morning unseen professionals are waking up thinking about one thing and one thing alone. Just keep the man alive until nightfall.
And this is the thing. This is the thing too, is there's always going to be a president. There's always going to be, a vice president. There's always going to be a CEO of a company. There's always going to be a prime minister of this country or that. There's always going to be that. Okay. There will never be another Donald Trump. There will never be another guy that turns the needle to the level that this guy turns it. It just won't happen. And I can't imagine how many people around the clock are constantly having to think about how to keep Donald Trump alive. It's wild when you think about it.
Keep him alive until he goes to bed. Every trip, every speech, every handshake, every open field is now measured against possibilities most people never have to consider. And that's going on through not only his head, but the head of his family all the time. I mean, it's natural for a husband to think about his wife. It's natural for a father to think about his daughters or his son. Public office doesn't erase those instincts. If anything, I think it sharpens them. And when the threats extend beyond you and the people you love, mortality begins, it stops being abstract and is a daily companion. And that changes you. I know it. It changes you. I've noticed, I've seen a change in him. I've seen his words change. I hear him mention death more often than he did. I see him reflect on things instead of just charging ahead. And I guess some people will say it's politics, or it's just rhetoric or whatever. But I think the real possibility is that surviving violence and then losing friends have given him perspective that only arrives after you're close enough to an encounter that shows you how fragile life is. Martin Luther King, his mountaintop speech in Memphis, a stranger one. This is the one where he said, I may not make it with the mountaintop, I think the day before he died. But on February 4th, 1968, he preached the drum major instinct. And he told the congregation that what he wanted said at his funeral. No Nobel Prize, no awards, just that he tried to feed the hungry. He preached his own eulogy, and it was played at his funeral. JFK, the morning that he was shot, he was in Fort Worth. He told Jackie and Kenny O'Donnell, look, if somebody wants to shoot me from an open window with a rifle, nobody's going to be able to stop it. His favorite poem was, I Have a Rendezvous with Death. Malcolm X told Alex Haley he didn't expect to read the finished autobiography.
Why are we acting like he got shot yesterday? That is a fair point. I do think Glenn Beck is he's putting a lot of salt on the story. He's not wrong in what he's saying, especially after Lindsey Graham passing away, because I do think Trump actually did like Lindsey Graham. I think they were really good friends. And so Glenn is doing what any YouTuber does. He's taking a story and he's being overly dramatic about it, and he's putting a lot of salt on it because that's just what, welcome to YouTube. I never do that. I'm the only good YouTuber. I'm the only one, okay? You trust me. I don't blow things out of proportion. I don't try to get super chats from you. I am the only honest YouTuber.
His house was firebombed on February 14th, 1965. He was killed on the 21st. Lincoln famously had the dream, but nobody can really document that for sure. But his farewell address in 1861 out of Springfield, when he was saying goodbye to Springfield, he said he was leaving for a task greater than Washington, and I don't know if I'll ever return from that task. Sometimes people have premonitions. Is it premonition, really? I think it might just be clarity that somebody has about their own future. And the clarity is, I've counted the cost, I've priced it, and I keep walking anyway. And that takes a heavy toll on somebody. I don't know whether President Trump, senses an ending here or just appreciates the situation that he's in, is just appreciating the fact that he's the president of the United States, and sometimes it doesn't work out well.
Well, that is kind of like, I haven't really thought about this until Beck, is having this conversation here, but like, I don't think this is going to happen. I don't anticipate this is going to happen, but Donald Trump is 80 years old. So could we just wake up one day and, the problem is that the left wakes up every day hoping for that announcement. That's that. And it's disgusting. Like, there are literally Twitter accounts that wake up every morning hoping to wake up to the news that Trump has passed away. That these people are fucking sick. They really are. And that just shows you how deranged they are. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not out. I mean, the dude's 80 years old.
The bravest people are not always the people who believe they can't die. Sometimes they're the ones that know they absolutely can die.
You know who I think about with that line right there? Guy on this picture right here. Now, I understand that a small portion of the audience is going to even understand what I'm talking about here. But let me just tell you, as a NASCAR fan, you have to understand that Dale Earnhardt was a literal superhero to NASCAR fans. Even for the people that hated Dale Earnhardt, Earnhardt was a superhero. He was the toughest, most badass dude. He was John Wayne in a car. He was the most awesome person. And the fact that this guy died on the final lap of the final turn of the biggest race of the year, while his own son was in front of him and Michael Waltrip, who he owned Michael Waltrip's car, and they won the race. It's the craziest story ever. In a lot of ways, obviously it's tragic, but once you get removed from it, it's almost beautiful in a lot of ways. It's almost like poetic how it happened. But you could have never, like in a million years, no one was expecting Dale Earnhardt to die. Nobody. And again, for those that were around back then, you understand the significance of that within that world. It was unbelievable. I've never in my life experienced another professional death like that. It was unreal.
But they keep walking through their responsibilities anyway. In the end, every president leaves office. Every senator leaves office. Every public figure leaves the stage. And all of us will reach our final chapter.
That's true, Arclight.
The measure of a person is not whether they can outrun their own mortality, because we can't. Even though people in Silicon Valley are trying to live forever, I don't want to live forever. Honestly, I'd like to go home. It's not whether you can outrun your mortality. It's whether you can embrace your own mortality and continue to love and serve and hope and carry your burden, despite knowing that time doesn't belong to any of us. We are living under borrowed stars.
These long pauses are bothering me, Glenn.
I thought of this today because of the story in the Washington Post. Because of Lindsey Graham's funeral today. But also because it's been on my mind for a while. On President Trump and his family. I would just ask today that you would reflect on that. I don't care if you voted for him or not. And I would be saying exactly the same thing if this was happening to Barack Obama or Joe Biden. If people were threatening his life, if people were targeting his family and his children, like,
dude, but that's not it's. I understand what Glenn Beck is saying there, but that's not going to happen. You're not going to have a bunch of conservative Christians that believe in freedom constantly threatening the life of the commander in chief on a wide scale. That's not going to fucking happen. And it just shows you how evil these Democrats and these leftists are. Again, leftists believe in, destroying children. They believe in embracing their mental illness. They believe in all these hormone blockers and all of this shit. They're fucking evil at their core. Like, who are Christian conservatives at their core? They're people that want their freedom, believe in their freedom, want the best for their family, and want to be left alone and build the life that they want to build. That's what they want. Simple as that. It's not complicated.
this, I'd be saying exactly the same thing. And don't think I wouldn't. But it's almost too much for anybody to handle. I don't know how you don't age. I've lived a sliver of this, and I can't tell you what it does to a person and their family.
That is true. What he's saying about their family, like, Trump is Trump, okay? We know that. But to carry the Trump name and have to always be scared to be out in public, or every move you make, every decision you make, every relationship that you get involved in, that's a lot.
What it must be doing to the president and his family is beyond my understanding. And I would ask that you would pray for him.
All right, he didn't totally cry. He almost cried. No offense, Glenn, but I don't want to hear you cry. You cry way too much. But just listen, man. I'm not saying people can't cry, but if you're a man, you shouldn't cry on the internet ever. That's just how the rule should be. Just men should never cry on the internet. If we could just make that a rule, we'd all be better off. You just don't do that. It's not right. Minister Ron thinks there's thousands of women and girls screaming and cheering for the famous person they love. OMG, Taylor Swift is literally Hitler. To be fair, a lot of people call Taylor Swift fans a cult. I've never really understood calling any group of fans a cult, but a lot of people on the conservative side will say that Taylor Swift has a cult, and I've just never really understood that. Like, she has a fan base. She has a big fan base. And, you know what? If you believe that Taylor Swift has a cult, let Taylor Swift put on a MAGA hat and let's see how much of a cult she really has. And I promise you, she don't have a cult. Because the moment she puts on a MAGA hat, they would all abandon her in a fucking minute. So, is that really a cult? Cobra Commander says, with everything going on in the world, especially Spain, Strickland and others need to be encouraged to either stop being part of the problem or silence. Cobra Commander also says all UK, EU politicians should be directly sanctioned so as not to impact the people and capture their precious money until they reverse invasion. They are rogue countries, some with nuclear weapons. Hail to you, Cobra Commander. Narco says, flood a country with 10,000 Islam migrants and 1% of them listen to the call to Minecraft because it's Allah and Allah Akbar. I know you're spreading your words out because it won't let you, you know what I mean? But it's difficult to read. And that's 100 brainwashed people willing to try. Let that sink in. Yeah, all this you're breaking up your words. I'm like, okay, what? I think I know what he's trying to say there. Hashtag Dale Tax 1 2 Earnhardt 4 5. Thank you, Narco. And Narco says on the immortality issue, there's a great sci-fi short on the Dust YouTube channel that I think nails the desire to not die, but painfully explains the ramifications of true immortality. Dust YouTube channel? Is that it? I'll have to check that one out. I like the line in Lord of the Rings. I like the one that Gandalf says. That's my favorite one. Let me pull that one up. Let's see. Sure, I got an image with it right here. Let's see. I can't play the clip, I don't guess. But you all know the scene I'm talking about. It's this one right here. Didn't think it would end this way. No, the journey doesn't end. Death is just another path, one that we must all take. It's just so powerful in the movie. And I will repeat, as I've said many times, greatest movies ever made. Greatest movies ever made. Lord of the Rings. It's just not even, there is no debate to be had. You either agree with me or you are wrong. But those are the greatest movies ever made. Storm Shadow says, Jeremy, steps go up after Sydney or APL video. Midget Menace says, as a wheelchair user, step counters often offend me. Especially the extended versions. Honestly, it applies to both, but obviously that's one of the few times that I think the extended versions just, they make the perfect thing even more perfect. And that is so rare. But the theatrical cuts of the Lord of the Rings are perfect, but the extended cuts just make the perfect more perfect. Rock Bottom says, Jeremy Crowder had Pastor Manning on his show. Yeah, a lot of you have told me about that. I'm about to check that out. That might be for tomorrow. It might be for tomorrow if he's got it on YouTube. Toddy says, get busy living or get busy dying. This is lame. What? Vault 95 Survivor says, see why European elitists disarmed the citizens. No resistance to the planned invasion. Hicks, New Jersey says, how the fuck do so many people go there and no one saw them coming? Talking about the migrants. I mean, it's planned. It's a planned invasion. It's what it is. So, where are we at? The extended Hobbits suck. I like the Hobbit movies, but I like them like I like the Star Wars prequels. Like, I know that they have problems, but I enjoy them. I enjoy them. So, Fantastic Mr. Knox says there's a video of a guy interviewing a convention goer at a geek con asking whether Odyssey is better than other movies. Convention goer outright saying Odyssey is better than even Lord of the Rings. Well, that's just not true because Lord of the Rings is the best movies ever made. I think the Odyssey's awesome, but it's nowhere like the Lord of the Rings is in a different stratosphere. And so I think that that's probably people that are trolling to try. Like when people were saying that the Rotten Tomatoes score for Odyssey is higher than Lord of the Rings. First of all, people don't understand how Rotten Tomatoes works, but yeah. I mean, Lord of the Rings is the Michael Jordan of movies. So there might be people that try to say like Kobe's better than Jordan. He's not. You can say LeBron's better than Jordan. He's not. You can say nobody's better than Jordan and nobody's better than Lord of the Rings. So it's just not. There's no discussion. You can like other movies more than Lord of the Rings. I like other movies other than Lord of the Rings. They're not my favorite movies, but they are the best movies ever made. And all three of them are just one big movie. They are the best movies ever, though. Greedo Gaming says, thoughts on Theories Vader 2. Not sure if you said it, if you saw it. I haven't seen it yet. Kareem might be. Kareem is not better than Jordan. Nobody is. The Bella Stella with 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Thank you so much. Hail to you. Gifty's flying. And hear me out, Jeremy. React to it here. I would react to it on Geeks and Gamers if I was going to do it. I don't know if Beardo and Mike did that the other day on Daily, or was that Blaine that was on that day? I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much. Another one in the books. Probably going to have, certainly going to have streams tomorrow. I was planning on doing a gaming stream tonight, but we're just going to do the gaming stream tomorrow. But we will do a gaming stream tomorrow after CobraCast tomorrow night. And I might do one before FNT as well. I don't know yet, but don't forget Marty O'Donnell. And by the way, Marty O'Donnell talked about it earlier. He's going to be at the meetup. He's the Halo composer. And you can support him and his campaign. And I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just doing it because I like Marty. But Marty's cool. We had a great call. Marty's been kind of circling around our sphere for a while. And I see everybody has him on the channel. I really, like, until I talk to somebody, I don't really care. So me and Marty had like an hour-long phone call today. And I was like, you know what? You're cool as shit, man. I want to get you on the channel now. Because I know he's been, everybody's been having him on. I never get into that shit. I'm not looking to bring guests on. But when I find out somebody's actually cool and I actually get to talk to them, I'm like, you know what? And some of the stuff he said to me on the phone, because I was telling him, like, about like the way I see things and the way that I think that things need to go. And he agreed with a lot of what I was saying. And I would like to mirror those conversations on a stream so that people can hear what he was saying. But now that I know him, like I've talked to him, dude's legit as fuck, man. He's really good. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a good evening and we will talk to you later. Bye, everyone.